do this. Okay. I've posted this like announcement to if you don't have Excel, I think you should be able to download this for free and like use it, like use the software. If you're using the cloud version, the online version, it's a little bit different than what I do. And I haven't worked with the cloud version, so like I might not be able to help much, at least at this point. But yeah, check it out, and if you can download the software. Okay, so this is our data set. Let me go to the link. So this is a patient's data set of like patient admission. And there are so many like some issues with the data set that we want to like check and fix. We're gonna start from like checking for duplicates. So that's the first thing we can check is for like checking if there are like a rows duplicate records in the data set. And then we can check if there are any like empty cells or missing values. Then we can see if we can like we have any typos in the like data set, if we have any outliers, if we need to like create new columns and so on, and we will go over them. So let's focus first on removing the duplicates. So if you go to the data set, first, let's select the complete table. So if you're Windows, like again, Mac user, Command Shift, click on the first cell. Hold Command and Shift, then right arrow, and then down arrow to completely select the table. Okay. If you're a Windows user, that should be like about Control and Shift. Then go to the Data tab. In the Data tab, you will see like next to text to columns, there is a Remove Duplicates. You see the remove duplicates in the toolbar, remove duplicates. Yes, remove duplicates. Okay. It's like it's called like remove duplicates. You're like if you're using the cloud version, maybe it's a little bit different and like looks smaller. I think like people found it, but it was a little bit smaller, different. So click on remove duplicate. Make sure it's everything is selected. We are looking for removing the duplicate record. So complete record is a duplicate. If that's the case, we want to remove it. That's why like selected all, so it checks every column. So if you click OK, it like if we like it identified 10 duplicate records and remove them. Okay, so first step, removing the duplicates. So data tab, remove the duplicates, and that's how we can remove the duplicate. So save this step so we can move, like check out the next step. So first, remove the duplicates. There are other like steps that like we can do with removing duplicates, but for now it's okay. Second, the most important part of like thing that you do a lot in data cleaning is like finding the empty cells, finding the missing values, and deciding to what to do with them. Best like simplest that's probably like remove the entire row, but that means you're removing a record, and that's not the like in most cases that's not what we do. Okay, especially in this case we have data set of patients. We can't just like remove a record just because some like columns have like a missing value. So you need to find them and then make a decision. A lot of times you need to focus one by one on every column that has missing values and then decide separately what you want to do with those missing values. Okay. So sometimes the missing value is actually telling you something about the value of that cell. How? Okay. Let's first find the missing values, then we can talk about them. So in order to see if we have missing values, from the Home tab, from Find and Select, okay, click on Find and Select and click on Go to a Special. Okay, click on Find and Select, go to a Special, and from here, select blanks. Okay, select blanks, and then click OK. Okay, now we can see among the columns, we have two columns that like have missing values. Are these important because of those missing values? I removed the entire row. No. Look at the columns, what they are. One of them is follow-up needed or not. Okay. It's like about the patient to indicate that if we need to follow up. It doesn't like it's like I don't have the value, but that doesn't mean that I can like it's important enough that I remove the entire record. How about the insurance type? Okay. It is not like we don't have a do we need to like remove it? No, maybe we can still think about it and see what is the like what we can do. But in fact, in this case, actually what we have the insurance item. Maybe it can help us to identify what is the insurance type. Um, but like generally, let's like think that like even like we don't know insurance ID, okay? So if I'm looking at insurance type, one of the things I can assume is that there are two categories here, right? Private and public. One thing I can assume is that maybe they didn't have an insurance. Maybe they didn't have an insurance, and that's why it didn't record them. For patients who don't have insurance, they doesn't record like any specific thing. So that means instead of just like removing the entire row, probably I can actually replace this with just unknown or like no insurance. Okay, unknown or no insurance. That way, I still keep the record, but just like get rid of the like missing values. Okay, a lot of times that's what we do with the missing values. Replace them with something, with a default value, with an average. If it's a numeric, you can take the average of the other values and then place it for the missing values. That's a very common method. For like the categorical columns like this, a lot of times you can see like either you for example I can see count the number of records that have yes, count the records that have no, and maybe like if there is a significant difference, then I can use the one that is most common. Like let's say most common is no, so I would just place like the empty ones with no. My point is to like first I want to get rid of the missing values with the information that I have. And also, I don't want to remove my records. So what should I do? I need to find a way to make this standardized, but also not remove it. So these are the things that we can do. Okay. So with all that thing said, let's focus on insurance type and like for now, take one of these methods. First, before I want to apply to any changes to the like missing values, there are some typos in the column. Let's fix the typos and then we can replace the like missing values. So first, I will go to find and replace. Okay, find and replace. Click on find and replace. So there is a typo with the public. Okay, I will replace it with the correct type. Correct word. Okay, so find can even like I think find entire cell match case be selected. It will only find not this one, sorry. Entire row. Okay. Find entire cells only. So it checks it if that's the case in that row. So that's it. Right. Let's click on replace all. So it replaces all the typos. Do the same thing with the private. I think there is a this typo with the private. So we can fix that too. If you check it. Okay, so there is a typo with the private too. I will just type the correct type. Yes.
It won't, it's not like showing up for me. That's the cheat code.
I think like sometimes you need to like close it back and open it. Sometimes that is just closed. Yes. Thing is, make sure to click first on columns. Yeah, click first on the column and then click on the search and look for it. Okay, both public and private should be fixed. Yes. Okay, let me. All right. So we fix this, and then we can focus. Okay, replace all. Okay, close, and now we have the column like the type of fix. We can focus on insurance type. So I want to like use a formula to fix that like a empty cells. So I will type and say, okay, if it is public, it's public. Otherwise, if it is private, private. Otherwise, like replace it with known. If it's not public or private, just place it unknown. There are different ways to write this formula. One of them is this way to say if, okay, so equal if cell N2, okay, is equal to public, okay. If it's public, just keep it public. Add a comma to indicate what should happen. So if that, like if it is public, what should happen? Add a comma and say should be public. Otherwise, okay, if N2 is equal to private, let's just type private, close the bracket or double quotation, close quotation, add comma and say it should be private. Okay. So if it's public, we'll like categorize it as public. If it is private, we'll categorize it as private. Otherwise, just categorize it as unknown. Okay, categorize it as unknown. And then, okay, so we need to close the parentheses. How many parentheses? As many as the number of ifs you have. We have 2 ifs. You need to add 2 close to parentheses. It. So as many as ifs we have. Okay, question? Yes.
Couldn't you just use proper?
What is it? What do you mean?
It's like a function equal proper, and then you select the text.
There are different ways. Like even like you can use that. Like we'll talk about or function, like or the other function. I'm gonna also try to like a little bit practice if and else. That's what I try. This session is a little bit more about practicing if and like trying to write a little bit formula. So this would be better to just see if there is like a multiple conditions you want to check. Like that's how we do it. Like if it is like if public, otherwise it's still if there is another condition type if, say if it is like private, private, otherwise unknown, and that's about it. And now we have 3 categories and we don't have like the missing value. Oh, okay, so for the insurance type, for now insurance, okay, insurance type 2. I will put it here. Yes. Okay, so like bring your cursor here like on the right side and double click. Okay, double click and it will extend it to the rest of the part. Okay, any question? Yes. Does the formula correct? Any questions? Yes.
It says there's a problem with my formula that's the same as yours.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Good. Now, we'll talk about later. We'll like replace the correct columns with the columns that have mistakes. We can fix them later. But for now, we want to go through this like as steps. So missing values. There are other missing values. We just want to like do one from each one of them. As much as we have time, we will fix the other one. A lot of times, with every project you have, this is a very common knowledge. 50 to 70% of the time you will spend on, like at least in the past, that was the case, that you spend on data cleaning and data preparation. Only 20-30% is about, now let me use the data like for like data modeling and like visualization, everything. This part is the most time consuming part, most painful part, because like there are so many like things that you need to like address before starting the set. We'll try over a few of them. Separate city and state. A lot of times, as we talked about last session, a lot of times you have cells that include multiple pieces of data about each record. Okay, about each record. So about this record that we have about patient, we've recorded city and state in the same cell, okay, same column. The same way their full name, like we've recorded first name and last name in the same column. So what we'll do, we can do is we can split this column into two columns, so we can use that knowledge from like a state give us different like insights about patients versus like the city itself. So first, select the complete column. Okay, so select the column. Okay, select the column. We want to split the column into two columns, city and state. Select the column. Then go to the data tab and you will see text to columns. Click on text to columns. So click on text to columns first, delimited, you don't change it, click next. Again, like if you're using the online version, yours could be a little bit different. Here, at this step, we need to like specify what is the character that separates the two parts. In this like column, we have the dash, and that separates them. So I will click on other and type dash, so it like separates the columns. If you're using the online version, it's like custom, like there's a custom, and like in the custom text box you need to type dash. So other, then click next. Now let's specify the destination. So remove the destination and then specify yourself. So remove the destination and then click on the like the first cell here to specify like the very first like maybe empty cell after your columns to place your data. Okay, once you specify the destination, click OK, and you will have your city and a state. I will set this as city, and then I will.
Other box, you take the dash, what do you do right after that?
Did you specify the destination? Click on okay, so what we do here, no, that's okay. Click on text to columns. So first one is delimited, so we don't change it. Here I specify the character that will separate them, so I use the dash. And then here first remove the destination. Okay, first remove the destination, still click on it, and then go and find that like the empty cell, like where you want to like place it, where you want to start to replace the like the result. So I used first one because like when I selected them, I selected from the first cell. So wherever you like, if you started from the cell 2, you can just like select from cell 2. Yes.
What I did was I inserted columns directly to the right of city state and I just inserted city and state to those columns. Is that perfectly fine?
That is okay, as long as like maybe you don't want to miss that part. Like in this case, it's okay. But like a lot of times, if like something like this, like let's say like for some reason, like you want to like keep the complete full name too. Maybe you have to like select the destination just in case if you may think that you will need the completed version, or like at least for now in this phase you will need it later. Just keep the original version. In case you don't need it and you can remove it. Maybe in this case, that's something that like you can replace it as well. Just like, case by case, something that you can keep in mind. But I think that's okay. So this is our city and our state. Okay, good. Last session we talked about another function that will help us to like get rid of these like extra spaces that we might see in text columns. So you can see that like here, once we like separated these two columns, now we can see that we have some like additional spaces within the text. This could be problematic later when you want to categorize them and use them for categorizing your data, like your record. So we want to make sure that like we remove that extra space. We use the trim function. Okay, so trim function. Okay, type the trim function, and it has only one input, and the input is like the cell that you want to like check for trimming, and then close the parentheses. Okay, trim, and then double click to extend it for every other row. Okay. Now, in case, like, let's just like, we could have done, like, we do it like at the end of the session, let's do it now. Okay, so I don't want to have both of them. Okay, I created this, I fixed the issue. I don't want to like create like a, now, I could like say like cd trimmed and like keep it, but let's see, we only want to have one column. So what I will do, I will select this column. Okay, first, let me type this as, okay, no. Um, for some reason, it's not giving me. Okay, so city, okay. Now, select the entire column. Okay. Copy it, so I can like copy the data from this column. So, we want to like replace, okay, we want to replace this column with the correct, like the corrected column, and then remove the like the older version. And then click right here in this column. Okay, so if you just place paste, okay, you place paste, it will show you error. Okay, let me try it. Okay, it like either gives you error or just like like removes it. But because we already used the function, what we do is like every time you want to replace it, select paste as special and select values. So you just copy the values, because the other one, it was a function, right? Use the function to extract the like the names without the spaces. So what you do, just copy the space and like the value. Once you do that, then you can, okay, you see it's still the thing, we don't need it anymore, then we can remove it. Okay, so we took the few steps. First, use the function to trim the extra spaces, then like paste it as a value, so we only have values. No, like here we don't have the functions, we only have the values now. And then we have like the city that is corrected and revised. Okay, any question? Yes.
I got up to where you like double click on that row. What do you do to paste it?
Okay, let me see if I can actually take it back. doesn't seem to be taken back. So what I did was like I had this trim function. I was using like the city, like let's see, okay. So what I did, selecting the column, copying it, and then select the other column, okay. So click right, click paste as special, and select values, paste as values. So you only like select like pasting a value, not the function. Okay, only select the like paste as a values. Okay, good. Just select the column and like click on delete. You should be able to delete it, or just click down arrow and like click the right right button and click on delete. Did it delete?
Just the header.
Do you have like click right to like can you select the column and click right and delete? Okay, very good. All right. Trim. We fixed some typos. There are other like type I think capitalization issues. We can get to that later. Let's see what we have here. Okay. We have these two columns, room chart and MISY chart. There are some things that we want to remove them, so we make them numeric fields and then we can use them in calculations. So first, click here and then click on go to the home tab, click on replace. Click on replace. First, what we want to do, we have like a dollar sign. We want to remove it from the numeric. So let's find the dollar sign and replace it with nothing. So replace with, just keep it empty, indicates that like you want to like replace it with nothing. So only dollar sign, look for the dollar sign and replace it with nothing. Okay, so in that case, I can move this. Okay, uncheck this part so it shows the correct one. Okay, because it's just part of that cell. I uncheck these two ones so it shows me then, and then I can replace them. Okay. So in the top text box, I type dollar sign, the other one nothing. Then make sure these are unchecked, and then just replace all. The same way for USD. Okay, you have like the USD at the end of the like the charge or like the text some places, just replace it with nothing. Okay. Here you don't need to type anything. We're just like replacing it with anything. So that's okay. So now we have only like numeric values left in these two columns. What is room charge plus MISY charge is like total charges. Now that like it is numeric, then we can create a formula to say this plus MISY charge will give us total. Okay, so that like the sum of room charge plus MISY charge will give us total charge. Okay, so will give us total charges. I won't go here. This is total charges. And that's our formula. Simply just adding them up. Okay. Double click here. Double click here to extend that for the other columns. Save your data or save your changes. make private. Okay. What else we wanted to? Okay, let's focus on the gender column before this total charge. Okay, yes. Let's focus on the gender column and then we can like check the other column. So in the gender column, we have like for female, we have two different names for the female category, for two different like names used for the male, like male and M, female and F. We don't want to have that. We want to have like just one name for each category. So I want to check it and create like a updated column that only specified each gender by which one category. So I'll go here and click. I want to write a formula using if else to be able to identify and categorize it. So if okay, in this case we have we're not checking that the value is equal to one specific thing. We have two options. So I want to say if it is either female or F, we will categorize it as female. So it's or. Otherwise, if it is male or M, we will categorize it as male. So how do we write it? You're using the keyword or, okay, after or if, okay, if, or, okay. If you have or case or you have and, you want to say this and the other one, then you type and. In this case, we have or. So open the parentheses, then first type the cell. So go and find the cell here. What is the cell? It's the from the C column. Okay, from the C column, that's our gender column. Okay, so I want to say if C2 is equal to male, okay, or okay, we already have the or, so I want to say just type the name of the column from now on, just it's C2, or if you have the same this, so it should be the same column. So C2 is equal to M, okay, and then close the parentheses. So if you have an or situation, that's how we or case, that's how we write the formula. If or and then inside the parentheses, you might have more than two. If you have 5 conditions, the same way, you're saying either of these two, then what should happen? So then what should happen? That means adding a comma and specifying if either of them is true, what should be what we want to categorize it or what we want to do with it. So we want to categorize it as male. I want to categorize it as male. Otherwise, meaning adding a comma. Otherwise, now, if, okay, here we could have just said categorize it as female, but what if we have other categories that we we want to specify them? That's my assumption. So I will say if, again, or. Now, if C2 is equal to female, or C2 is equal to F. Make sure to check your double quotations, every one of these tags should be inside double quotation.
Is it case sensitive because we have some uppercase and some lowercase M's?
I think it's not case sensitive, but we can try. I can't remember exactly right now if it was case sensitive, to be honest. I think it accepts it. It shouldn't be case sensitive. Okay. Now, oh, sorry. Okay, so now close the parentheses for or. So if it is female or F, categorize it as female. Okay. Categorize it as female. Otherwise, let's just if unknown, okay, if we don't know that the other category, just leave it as unknown. Now, as much as if you have, just add close parentheses to close the parentheses, close the formula. So this is our formula to indicate and like specify each category. I don't think it is case sensitive. I'm going to change this. Okay. If I change this to okay. Okay. And let's see. Oh. Okay, so it's not case, at least the formula is not case sensitive. It is correctly identifying like the categories. Okay, so or male. Yes. Okay. Thank you for noting that. Just updated, but it is trying correctly identifies them. Okay, so this was our formula to specify like get rid of multiple like names that we have for a specific category. Just make it one category for like either M or male. We want to like specify it as one category in male. The same way for female. Yes. Question? Yeah. So that's a gender. I'll type it to again the same step that we took with like city. Later, like when we are done with these steps, then you can go back and like again replace this with the gender column and like like only keep one of them. You don't need to like keep both of them. Keep the correct column. Any question? Okay. So this was our formula to fix, to categorize, like create 2 categories or 3 categories for gender. Now, if you look at the other table, okay, let me just bring it up. So what do we have here in the other table is the insurance information. So what we have is the insurance ID in like the insurance provider and then coverage percentage. Okay, average coverage percentage. So what we want to do for each row, for each record, for each customer, we want to add their insurance provider. Okay, we want to add their insurance provider. We don't have it here, and it is on the other table. So how do we add it? That's when we can use the VLOOKUP function to add the information from the other table. If you look at the table, you can see that you have the information like insurance ID. Okay, you have the insurance ID. You can use it to find what is like the insurance type for that specific ID. So let's use a VLOOKUP function to create and extract that from the other table. So VLOOKUP. If you remember from last session, so lookup function, first input is the one that is the same like a column that you're going to use to match with the other table or find a match in the other table. So in this case, we have the insurance ID. We can match it with the insurance IDs. So I'm going to select from this table insurance ID as the first cell. So let me just select or like click on the first cell. Insurance ID, okay, and then add comma. So insurance ID, we are going to use it to look for a match, insurance ID from this table. Now, what is the second input? The second input is the range, complete range that we need to look at in the other table, complete range. So this case, our range is the complete table here. So I will click on the first cell, hold Command Shift, click on the right down arrow to select the complete table. Just select the complete table from the other table, from the insurance provider table. Yes.
To select the header.
I don't think it matters that much because it's looking for a match. We can select like the rows. Okay. Any question? Okay. Now, if you look at the references here, okay, one thing we can do is like we should change the references to absolute reference to make sure that that range is locked and we are only looking to within that range. So it doesn't move to the to the next rows or like cells. So I will change the references to absolute reference. Like type add $sign before the name of the name of the column and also like the record or row number, and then add comma. I can go back to the formula so you can see how it looks like. Okay. So first one is the insurance provider from insurance ID. From this table, you add comma and then select the range or from the other table. Make sure that this is like an insurance provider. Like sometimes when you go back, it changes back the name of the the worksheet to your current one. So you need to update the name of the worksheet correct to the correct name. So this you should have insurance provider. Then the references, make sure that they're absolute references. Add comma. Now, third input is okay, once you find the match, what column should it be I should return if I find the match, okay? What column? So in this case, we are looking for the provider's name and it's the second column. It's the second column. So what I will do here, just type 2, meaning that you should return the second column. Okay, you should return the second column. And then the last one, just type false to indicate that we are looking for an exact match and close the parentheses. So the third input is always just you can just put a number, just number indicating which column should be its value should be returned if you find a match. Okay, once you enter it, then you will have the insurance provider or provider name. Provider. Okay. Any question? Yes. Okay, good. Great. Okay. We're just on track to complete this part. So we created this. Let me see from the remaining part. Okay. Oh, so a lot of times you have a lot of records, right? You can just look at every record and find out whether what's in outlier. A lot of times in different columns you have some outliers, some values that don't match to what you would expect to see in that column. For example, you might look at the age in every record and find out someone has 200 years old for age. So that should give you an idea. Okay, maybe the value is incorrect. Maybe something is wrong with that record. So how do we identify if there is any outlier in our data set? Very simple, write a very simple formula to identify quickly if we have any data out of range. How do we write that? So we just type, okay, if we are doing that for the for the age column, okay? We just talked about OR OR. So I will type OR. I want to say if it is greater than 100 or less than 1, meaning that it's 0, you should let's say show false, should show me a flag, show me an error. That way I can separate them and I look at them separately. So we will say if or mine is D. Okay, so that's the D column. So D is greater than let's say our threshold is 100. Can change it. Or D2 is less than 1, meaning that maybe the age is 0. Okay, so if it is greater than 100 or less than 1, just show error. Okay. then close the parentheses. We can show like type an alternative too, like no error. Like we can add it. You don't have to add it. We're just like looking for like the ones that like we might have an outlier. Okay, so once we type that, let's extend it. Okay, I will type this out. Okay, age out of range. Age out of range.
Like if it's false.
We can like leave it either ways. It doesn't matter. We'll see that like once you add this, then you can use the filter. Okay, you can add filter and then only like show the error ones. Okay, then you can see that like what how many records you have that are out of range in their age, with like fit into your like out of range values. Let's go back and change their age value. Okay, so we have even like, okay, we have a record that is value 0. So that tells me, okay, I need to like maybe either remove this record. If I don't have the value, I should remove it. Like the age shouldn't be 0 or like 140. These are kind of very out of range values. So we want to make a decision about them. Yes. Okay. So this is our formula. We created, let me actually remove the filter and then I can, okay. So this is the formula we created. You can like specify the other categories with a separate name or like leave it empty. We can like, I think can actually add this like a empty space, okay. And that way, was this like you meant like you can like leave the otherwise empty? Yes, that's also good. Leave it empty and then when you double click on it, it will show you like only the error ones. This is good actually. It's better. Okay, you can see. So identifying outliers and removing them, making a decision is one of the important steps here to make sure that you have the correct like records for your data analysis. For that, I will definitely remove the record that I have with the 0, like a 0 value, okay? Which was, can actually like apply that filter, okay? Apply that filter, only like show the error ones. And then just like click on the row, okay? So this is like the one with the age 0. It shouldn't exist here, like anyone with the age 0. So I don't know, I cannot replace it with anything else. And that's also an important thing. One thing you can do is just like delete the row. So just like click on it and like delete that row. Okay, delete the row and then remove the filter. Okay, so delete the row, remove the filter at least. And then like you can change your range for the other ones or you just keep them or like also just make a decision about them too. Great. Okay, in the like the other sessions we actually like we got to this part. So let's just like save it. The same way like we talked about with the city, now you can like copy and paste like if you want to like replace them, it's for good for now. But that's how it is. Like once you fix them, then you can replace the like the other columns with the corrected version, and then you have like the data ready for next phase where you work on your data analysis. So make sure to save it, upload it for today's session, and I will give you the attendance key too. Okay.